A plane makes an emergency landing on the Seward Highway tonight. We'll tell you how it's impacting traffic. A motorcyclist dead and a trooper involved. What authorities say happened. And an Alaskan Independence Day tradition. What records were set at Mount Marathon this year?
You're watching KTUU, Channel 2, Anchorage, Alaska's news source. And now, the state's #1 evening news team. This is the Channel 2 News Late Edition.
Good evening, and as we celebrate our Independence Day, a familiar story to tell you about tonight. Traffic on the Seward Highway was backed up this evening. Last night, traffic was tied up for hours when a fatal motorcycle crash closed the highway in both directions. This evening, around 7:40, a plane landed at the Potter Marsh pullout. That pullout is just past DeArmond as you head south. Channel 2's Corey Allen Young joins us live from the Seward Highway. Corey, what's happening out there?
Well, as you said, Nikki, that plane landed just on the highway near Potter's Marsh. Anchorage police said it was coming in from Anchorage when the plane experienced fuel problems. The engine died and the pilot had to come land. The landing actually was on the actual highway. According to NTSB, Clint Johnson, he told Channel 2 News that they actually clipped a car, and there were some injuries to the plane. Now, the plane, when it landed, they had to push it off to the side of the road. The road was actually shut down for a few minutes. The Anchorage police say that there was no injuries, and the NTSB is investigating. Again, this could have been much worse. NTSB still hasn't given us much information on what the cause was, but I guess we'll give you those details when we have it. Back to you, Nikki.
All right, thanks, Corey. And we have an update on last night's deadly motorcycle crash that closed the Seward Highway for 6 hours. Today, the Alaska State Troopers identified 58-year-old Michael Kemper as the motorcyclist pronounced dead at the scene. Troopers started pursuing Kemper a little after 7 o'clock last night after they saw him speeding south on the highway safety corridor at mile 93. About a mile and a half later, Kemper collided with the back of a southbound 2009 Chevrolet Suburban. Kemper and his motorcycle were then pulled into the southbound lane where the trooper hit the vehicle still in pursuit and collided with Kemper's motorcycle. Now, the Seward Highway reopened at 1 o'clock this morning. Alaska State Troopers have identified the Norwegian's cruise line missing crew member who jumped overboard on Thursday night. Troopers said Friday afternoon a sport fisherman had spotted human remains off the eastern shore of Horse Island. The remains were confirmed to be 26-year-old Jonas Felipe de Miranda Santiago. The cruise liner reported Santiago missing after being seen on a surveillance camera jumping overboard near Douglas Island. Santiago's family has been notified, and cruise line representatives have not responded to requests for comment. Well, Alaska still ranks among the deadliest states for recreational boating deaths. That's according to a new report from the Coast Guard. The state is only one of 6 in the nation that has a fatality rate of 10 deaths or more per 100,000 recreational vessels. The report also shows boating deaths in 2014 were spread out all across the southern part of the state. Alaska accounts for around 2% of all boating deaths in the United States. Officials with the Office of Boating Safety say they hope the number of deaths this year is lower and that teens between the ages of 13 and 18 are wearing their life jackets more in Alaska than anywhere else in the country. Well, in Alaska, 4th of July just wouldn't be the same without Mount Marathon. This year, there's been a wave of excitement surrounding the race, thanks to a field of runners more competitive than ever. Kari Bustamante reports from Seward.
If you want to be the best, you have to beat the best. Whether it's champions, records, or just the field, Mount Marathon is the race to do it. Swedish mountain runner Emily Forsberg made quick work of the mountain, breaking Nancy Peace's 25-year-old record, Forsberg winning at 47 minutes, 47 seconds.
It is super technical. It's like one of the technical races I've ever done. And in Europe we have pretty technical, and my favorite is the technical. So this was a challenge for me.
Come on, Allie!
Also breaking Peace's record and finishing her first senior race runner-up, Allie Ostrander feels we'll see more times like today in years to come.
Well, I definitely think that there's a shift in competition. I mean, Mount Marathon is it's gaining such a reputation for being such intense and, gut-wrenching race that people want to try it.
People who happen to be recognized as the top mountain runners in the world. Word of the race reached the ears of Kilian Jornet, who added Mount Marathon to this year's circuit. Keeping pace with Jim Shine and Ricky Gates to the top, Jornet took the lead after the turnaround.
All right, come on, Ricky!
It was in the middle of the downhill that I realized that okay, now it can be. Just take a bit care to don't hurt yourself and to make to the finish line, because you never know until you get to the road. Everything can happen. You cannot finish.
Jornet takes the title and the record, finishing at 41 minutes 48 seconds. Pushing him the whole way, the man behind 2 records, Ricky Gates.
You know, I raced the level of the competition every time I come out here. I had a really exciting race a couple years ago. Last year I wasn't super happy with my race, and so I kind of trained a little bit differently for it today. And you know, it doesn't matter to me too much to be second or to not have the record. It's just exciting to be a part of a really cool competition.
Because even if the titles go to runners foreign to our frontier, the tradition will always remain Alaskan. Kari Bustamante, Channel 2 Sports.
And like here in Anchorage, the runners in Seward got a dose of rain on this 4th of July. Let's check in with Tracy at the Weather Center. And Tracy, will we have a chance to see the sunshine this weekend?
Maybe a little bit, but not much. We're not looking for suntan weather over the next few days. We did have some rain come through South Central. In fact, we had a fair bit come through Prince William Sound, a little bit in the Anchorage area, at least some scattered showers. The Kenai Peninsula also got a bit of that rain coming through. Some rain as well for Southwest Alaska. Currently out at Stevens International Airport, it's now 63 degrees with a relative humidity of 63%. Temperatures today in the mid-60s, but we are looking for a high tomorrow near 70 degrees. So it's going to warm up a little bit. I'll have a full forecast.
Can't complain.
Nah.
Thanks, Tracy. Well, up next on the late edition, what people in Anchorage grilled at their 4th of July barbecues.
You're watching Channel 2 News with Nikki Carbajal. This is the Channel 2 News Late Edition.
While many celebrated Independence Day across the state, thousands of people attended Anchorage's downtown festivities. Many families gathered to see the parade this morning, featuring decorative floats, antique vehicles, and people in costume. Anchorage Fairs and Festivals puts on the event, and they say the theme this year was Happy Birthday Anchorage in honor of the city's 100th anniversary. 1 year ago, a native Tlingit leader who was a major fixture in Anchorage's 4th of July parade suffered a stroke at the beginning of the event and passed away at the hospital the next day. About 150 people showed up to walk in William Jackson's honor this morning with the Bridge Builders group. Jackson was a leader of a group known as Children of the Land Tribes, and he carried the Alaska flag for nearly 10 years in the parade before he died. Friends say Jackson, who was born in Juneau, taught many generations of Alaska Native youth traditional values as well as Tlingit dance and drumming. Friends say they walk today to remember what he taught them.
It illustrates how strong he was in his leadership of native traditions and passing them on to young people. Many of these young people here are part of his group.
We were good friends. I always helped him out whenever he needed help.
A dedication ceremony for Jackson was also held earlier this morning. Testing their fitness and strength, that's what dozens of firefighters did this afternoon at the Scott Firefighter Combat Challenge. In head-to-head heats, a mix of local and lower 48 firefighters raced up a 42-foot-high tower wearing full bunker gear and breathing apparatus. Other obstacles included hoisting, chopping, dragging hoses, and rescuing a life-size 175-pound victim as they raced against each other and the clock. The goal of the challenge is to encourage firefighter fitness and simulate realistic situations that firefighters face on a day-to-day basis. One participant from Fire Station 1 that covers downtown Anchorage says the challenge is similar to what they do when responding to calls at high-rise buildings.
It's a very good simulation of what we actually go through on an initial fire attack, especially if it's a big uphill fire or a high-rise fire, anything like that. It's a lot of work, it's hard, you gotta breathe hard, you gotta pull the air in, so it's a good event, it's a lot of fun.
And Sorsdahl says he'd do the challenge again in a heartbeat. Well, you can't have a 4th of July without a barbecue, and residents citywide did not disappoint. And as Channel 2's Corey Allen Young found out, there's a lot of tasty options out there.
They are the key to this competition.
From Coney Island in the land of mini hot dog to the mini taste of the last frontier. The tradition of celebrating our country's independence
So you guys are enjoying your 4th of July?
Yeah, besides the rain.
also means continuing the tradition of Independence barbecue. Which for the Soto family involves some mastery of the Mountain View Lions Park grill.
I'm grilling corn,
Okay, what else you got on there?
some ribs and chicken.
Across town at the Valley of the Moon, Boris Bogdanov is making a masterpiece for family and friends.
What are you cooking here, though? What is this?
Bulgarian hamburgers.
Good eats Bulgarian style that Maria Stoyanovska and Slavy Stoyanovsky say makes their 4th of July special.
And yeah, we ate very good food, barbecue meat, and I loved it. Like the pizza in America, but I like our food.
The American Legion Post 1 rocking the night away to the sounds of locomotion. The crowd of veterans and supporters were not shy to enjoy their independence food.
Today we come together as a family.
Having family around on the holidays is huge for Dan Lotonunu, with turkey tails, chicken, and a special sauce.
I don't want to tell any secret ingredients or something.
Dan says he's been planning this feast for a couple of weeks.
You know, 4th of July is Independence Day, so we have to celebrate it. So.
A celebration of 239 years of America's freedom that around Anchorage is being expressed in more ways than one. Corey Allen Young, Channel 2 News.
And that last story definitely made me hungry.
I know, it all looks so good.
We're joined once again by Tracy Sinclair with the weather forecast. Hi there, Tracy.
Hello, I grilled, but I used my indoor grill because I'm afraid of setting something on fire. Anyway, quick look. This is our live camera up at Glen Alps. A little bit windy along the hillside. I'll have a statewide forecast when we come back.